Welcome to Speak English Podcast with your host, Georgiana, the podcast that will help you to speak English fluently with no grammar and no textbooks.
Hi everyone, I am Georgiana, your English teacher and founder of SpeakEnglishPodcast.com. My mission is to help you to speak English fluently. Today, in this episode, we're going to continue to discover some more super short, scary stories. Next, I'm going to do a little mini story for you to practice fluency. Simple and effective. Remember, you can check out the transcript for today's episode at SpeakEnglishPodcast.com. All right, last week, we looked at some super short, scary stories. Well, very short. So short that most of them can be written in a single line. For example, we saw this one. We know who you are and where you live. Today, we are going to learn some more, as I know you're very brave. You will be able to bear it. I'm also going to comment on them one by one. Let's look at the first one. Your bank called you. Phew, every time the bank calls me, they try to offer me something I don't need. A mortgage, credit, insurance. But I suppose that if there's a problem, they also call you. Still, they have never called me to give me any good news. Let's listen to another super short, scary story. Your mother-in-law invites you to Christmas dinner. Well, I have to say that poor mothers-in-law are not so bad. Rather, they are good. At least, I think they have good intentions. However, the myth is that mothers-in-law are always meddling in your life and are very annoying. One thing is true. Mothers-in-law are usually excellent cooks. Let's listen to another super short, scary story. I saw a mouse in the office. A mouse. It's not a very good sign to see mice anywhere, let alone in the office. Best not to think about it. However, it could be a computer mouse. Then it wouldn't be so scary. Another scary story. There is a problem. Well, yes. Most of the time, this phrase indicates an unpleasant situation that we have to face. The worst thing is that you don't know the problem until you're given more details. Another one would be, did you hear that? Well, this phrase, depending on the context, can be terrifying. And the last super short, scary story is, I don't speak English. Yes, that's a problem. Especially when you urgently need to say something important in English. Imagine you are eating French fries and you need salt, but the waiter doesn't understand you. Okay, we'll leave it here for now. Let's continue with a mini story. What's a mini story? A mini story is very simple. I give you information using phrases, and then I ask you questions. After each question, there will be some seconds of silence. It's your turn to answer the question. Just try to give an easy and short answer, not a complex one. After you answer, I'll give you the correct answer. And just like that, I'll tell you a story with questions and answers. Are you ready? In a faraway kingdom lived Tom, who was not afraid of anything. Did Tom live in a faraway kingdom? Yes, Tom lived in a faraway kingdom. Who lived in a kingdom? Tom. Tom lived in a kingdom and was not afraid. Who wasn't afraid? Tom. Tom was not afraid. In that kingdom, the king had a daughter, a gorgeous daughter. Did the king have a son? No, the king didn't have a son. He had a daughter, and she was gorgeous. Whoever got to spend 3 nights in an enchanted castle would marry the princess. Whoever got to spend 3 nights in a castle would marry the king? No, not the king. Whoever got to spend 3 nights in a castle would marry the princess. Who would marry the princess? Whoever managed to spend 3 nights in a castle. What would be the necessary condition to marry the princess? To spend 3 nights in a castle. After passing the test, Tom married the king's daughter. Did Tom pass the test, or did he fail? Tom passed the test. He succeeded. He didn't fail. Did Tom marry the king's daughter? Yes, he married the king's daughter. He married the princess. Who did Tom marry? The king? No, not the king. Tom married the king's daughter. He married the princess. One day, Tom saw his wife wearing a green cucumber mask and was terrified. Did Tom see a terrible monster? No, Tom did not see a terrible monster. He saw his wife wearing a cucumber mask. What did he see? A green cucumber mask. Was Tom amused? Was he surprised? Or was he perhaps terrified? He was terrified. He was terrified when he saw the green cucumber face mask. Perfect! It's the end of this mini story. As you can see, through questions and answers, you can practice and improve your speech, just like in a real conversation. It is one of the techniques that I use in my premium courses. I recommend you to take a look at speakenglishpodcast.com/courses. Okay, we have reached the end of this episode. Remember to listen to it several times. It will help you with your English. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy today's episode? Get the transcript now at speakenglishpodcast.com.